The round robin continues at the Sisters Call Cup, and we have our first map in the best of 3. Team Voice against Vivq. So, after this, we're going to jump into the playoffs. We got on the left our blue team, Team Voice with the captain on Reyna, Makto on Kira. Now, that's already a bit of a handicap. Mr. X on Rhaegar, we got the Chicken on Thrall, Halcon on ETC, and of course over on the right side of the map. Their opponents with Machko on Varian, Zyomech on Liming, we got Vivq on Artanis, Endless on Malfurion, and Hajdunio on Junkrat. Let the games begin! Again, this is a Polish tournament hosted by Richu, shout out to him. Polish commentator and player for the Polish community and player base. Most of the players in this tournament are from Poland, not all of them. They got a couple of ringers in there. But it uses the full META Madness rules, so not only can a hero only be played once within a series, but they also have pre-bans. So there are 25 pre-bans before any match even starts, which reduces the hero pool, of course, significantly and causes some of the picks that you see here. If you are not familiar with the pre-bans by now, you can scroll down into the description of the video, assuming you watch this on YouTube, and all of them will be listed in there. Also, if you are on YouTube, make sure that you hit that like button. It helps to promote the videos and get maybe a few more people that have watched heroes in the past be interested in the game, especially given that we have a lot more patches coming through lately. So, yeah, that's a positive. The janitor has been busy. ETC, be careful here. Get isolated there for just a second. The Chicken with one hit after another. It's a little bit sad that even given the fact that we have him in the 4-man, he hasn't committed to anything like Trash Lightning. Would have been cool to see that, for example. But unfortunately, it's not something that we're getting right now. So instead, it's the Trolling Thunder as often. But talking about Thrall, he might be in trouble over here. ETC2 goes into the back line, a bit low. Thrall the first one to fall. They get the counter kill on Liming. And the camp goes to the red team. Team Vivq is able to take it. So, that was a spicy fight. That could have actually gotten real wrong for the blue team. They lost one hero and they lost the camp, so it's not a great deal for them either way. But there was a chance that they lose more heroes and they at least avoided that. So, good for them. Now, all the way up at the top, we got Kira pretty much solo right now, with Artanis moving back up. Try to join the fight at the bottom of the map. Blue team is getting a little angry here, apparently. Quick engage from them, looking for a counter kill. The 4 talents are soon kicking in, and we are also about to hit the first objective of the game. So teams will start to split off towards the Shaman camps in just a moment. Varian has his taunt now, on the other hand. And will not be afraid to use it. Okay. Can go for a couple of taunts on Jimmy. Sarah never liked you in the first place. Okay. What else we go? Kerrigan is only a 2 out of 10. Well, to be fair, after the transformation, she kinda is. I mean, she has a little bit of a badass vibe going for herself, but all those spikes out of the back, not usually something that someone like Reyna is looking for in a partner, you would assume. Talking about Reyna, this was Jimmy, so yeah, he gets quickly killed. Team Vivq with a nice taunt play now, and I would assume that for ETC, it's also time to die and decide how he wants to part ways with his life and the remaining few hit points, and it is Liming that takes him out. So that's another 2 kills, 3 kills to 1 all in all. Yeah, the taunt plays are really working for them. Now, when it comes to the Immortal, that's of course where things could be a little bit different. But there's a lot of damage coming from Team Vivq. They have Liming plus Junkrat for the long range poke and that amateur opponent. It is still a 50-50 on the halftime show, because Jimmy with Exterminator is of course just burning things down. Boah. And talking about burning things down, Kira gone. Just gone. One moment she's there and then she just gets wrecked. Insta lockdown. Liming says thank you very much, takes the present, unwraps it and drops the hit point bar. of Kira into nothingness. So that should be an easy victory on the objective, on the first Immortal for Team VVQ. They're grabbing it. 7,000 hit points left on the shield, so good for them. Level 7 kicks in. Oh, ETC, a little bit of a suicide mission here. Damn. That guy has a pair on him, doesn't he? Just slides in with no actual hit points and is able to get out of the fight. So, whew, that was definitely a risky play. Didn't work out for them. Well, they lost nobody, but they were clearly hoping to get a kill to make that defense a bit easier. And now, no! Jimmy gets crushed again. Hey, he's crazy on the damage output, but at the Immortal at least. But the problem with Jimmy is still the same. He doesn't have a lot of escape tools, and he's been played a bit more recently. And of course, in this tournament, he clearly benefits from the fact that so many other heroes have been banned out already. But still, he's suffering. Having huge problems to survive through the burst that we're getting from Li Ming. So another kill, him down. In comes the Immortal, starting to push forward here. On top of that, with the fort gone. Taking some damage on the wall. And that's actually kind of nuts when you think about it. I mean, we're talking Immortal number 1 here. And that's a... I mean, this is a fort gone with the first Immortal. It's crazy. ETC gets out. Blue team is still pressuring. And I think at this point, the red team, Team VVQ, they can just fall back and call that a win. I mean, 5 kills to 1. Fort eliminated. But they want more kills, and they get them. That taunt combo that they're running is working perfectly. That's kill number 6, a 1 level advantage for them. And they have a fantastic start into the best of 3 series right now. I mean, at least so far, things are going extremely well for them. So, yeah, job well done. Down at the bottom of the map, another few camps available. With that half level still missing until level 10, it seems like we're seeing Team Boys trying to force a fight before the heroics are in. And I actually like that Team VVQ is currently saying, you know what, we don't risk anything here. They could have played this differently. They didn't have 4 heroes down here, so they were at a numbers disadvantage, but they could have tried to delay it and bring Artanis in, and they just didn't. They just gave up the camp. They said Junkrat is taking the one at the top. We're trading camps with them, and even though we did all the work here, let's just let this one slide. We're so far ahead right now. We can absolutely give them a camp and still be in fine shape for the next play. And even Junkrat is getting value. I mean, there's a catapult, and we have the camp destroying the wall. Kira needs to deal with this quickly, and now that your Mortal is spawning again, you have a heroic ability that will at a minimum give you the halftime show lead. Or at least should. So, good advantage for the red team. The question is all how the blue team is now going to deal with this. Because after the objective here, well, after they get level 10, when we have heroics on both sides, they still will likely have a chance to go for the objective. And they need to decide how they want to play this. And I guess they just are going to try and slow them down a little bit. But there's the taunt. And another kill. Yeah, that's the problem when you're going up against teams that have a heroic ability advantage over you. Just aren't able to take an actual fight. I mean, again, the goal wasn't really to fight. The goal was to delay. Didn't really work out. Now the halftime show victory is secured, as was to be expected from Team VVQ. But now, with ETC still missing for a few more seconds, I mean, he has to make the rotation first. We now have this one also on the menu, so it's going to be a big shield. It's going to be a very, very big shield. Varia not even using his taunt, just delaying things here. With ease and big success. That's a 19,000 hit point shield. I mean, damn. If they get another kill right now, if you get kills right here and make the defense even harder, this is going to be a disaster. The blue team needs to either get the hell out of there or get some kills themselves, or this is going to be rough. In come the swap attempts from Artanis. They're trying to make a few plays also for the backline. They have problems on Li Ming, but Jimmy is also low. And another taunt is available. They could try and taunt. They decide in favor of ETC. The Immortal is already doing damage at the bottom of the map. And with the blue team having to rotate down and being completely stopped and slowed down, I don't think that's going to happen. Reyna is dead. That's the best tool that they have for defense. Guys, this is a disaster for Team Boys. They lost on the first objective, their topside fort, and there's absolutely zero doubt that their next fort falls at the bottom of the map now. The only question here is really, how much more are they going to get? Because that bottom wall on the keep is going to have a big problem now too. And keep in mind, that top wall, top lane wall, has also basically been destroyed. Most of it at least. So they are getting played to the wall here. Game number 1 is not a pleasant one for Team Boys. They drop Hyperion. Now Jimmy's back and can help with the defense. I don't think that the keep will fall, but it's taken an enormous amount of damage. And now that ETC is gone, that might change things completely. There's a level 13 talent advantage, and yes, the keep gets destroyed. That's crazy. We're before the 10-minute mark. We're not even 10 minutes into the game, and they lost a keep. 28,000 damage for Li Ming. 23,000 for Thrall on the other side. But this is a nightmare. That draft for Team VivQ is just working so exceptionally well. And they're playing it perfectly. The only hero that died so far is Li Ming. She is now on level 13, going straight for Illusionist. But yeah, this is quite something. 9 kills to 1. And woof, Zebra for Kira over here as the mount. I don't know why, but usually I've seen the Zero players on that. It's not a mount that you see that often. So they're already engaging again with the 2-level advantage. Mercenary camps and catapults. They can definitely look for some opportunities. ETC with 1 mosh pit could of course attempt to turn this around. But yeah, it's a tough one for Team Boys. Catapults are going to be a problem for them no matter what happens. It's just a matter of time. At the 11-minute mark, this is not really a big concern just yet. But of course, as this continues, it's more and more of a problem. So Ancestral had to be used. It's a big cooldown burn. They would have loved to save for much, much longer than that. But they are apparently trying to trap again. Yeah, there's the taunt. Bye-bye.
And we say bye-bye.
So that's ETC gone. Li Ming with a very quick hit. And that's 10 kills now in total. The red team is ahead in experience by a very significant margin. They have a numbers advantage that they now translate into a shaman camp that they're stealing from the opponent's team. And they are sitting right next to the Immortal already as it spawns. So even with ETC coming back in just a few more seconds, there's no doubt how the path time ends again. So without any damage taken on the red team's Immortal, they come in and they take the halftime show here. If they get another objective and can then push with level 16, can you imagine how this is going to end? Team Boys would be absolutely slapped around on this one. So far, Team VivQ is going through Team Boys like hot butter through cheese. Melting them away. So, there's the poke attempt now from Team Boys. They know that they're in real trouble. Big damage! Can they get the kill? E.T. See ya! Nope, he's out. He's out, but he's alive. That's a big one. Kira! Yeah, Kira and... they are still trying to go for the Immortal here. ETC is mega low and has a bit, very little impact. At least Satanis got stunned. There's also an ult coming out from Kira, which did absolutely nothing, if you ask me. So, Jimmy up at the top. And instead, we now have another Immortal with a pretty solid shield for Team VivQ. Well, okay, so, top side, the entire wall is now gone. Even the keep has taken some damage, and there's no way of saving this. They're already attacking. They try for a swap attempt, but here's the taunt. These root follow-ups and also the isolation plays that we're getting from Junkrat are just on point. They're really doing an awesome job on this. Now Kira gets isolated. They want Artanis. They nearly get him, but they just can't completely solidify those kills. So instead, what we're getting is the top keep. That one's falling. Another ult from Kira, doing her best to keep him at bay, which is tough enough as is. And, well, the ult of No Fury is going to be up in another moment. They go for ETC again. They want the beef! And they get him. ETC is gone. The keep destroyed, and they're going to try and end the game here. And with them going for Jimmy and dropping him now too, is this just a foregone conclusion. There's a level 16 talent advantage. And, of course, nothing to stop the red team. Team VivQ. They take out Thrall, who never completed his level 4 quest. They get the full drop on them. And that is game, ladies and gentlemen. That's the 1-0 lead for Team Vivicure in the best of 3 series here at the round robin stage of the Sisters Call Cup. GG and well played. We're going to head straight into game number 2, but before we do, once again guys, if you enjoy the coverage on the channel here, if you enjoy the match, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It also helps to boost the game to an even wider audience. And of course, it helps to get people back into Heroes of the Storm, as the algorithm recommends the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past. So again, before we continue, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Appreciate it. And with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. Map number 2, we're going to Towers of Doom, and it's a Lily game. Oh yeah, it is panda time, baby. On the left, Team Voice with Makto on Lunara. We got Halcon on Murden. Voice on Kelthas with Mana Addict on level 1. We got the Chicken on Urel and Mr. X with Lily. The panda is in the house. Over on the right side, Machko with May. We got Endless on Deckard Kane. Hajjunio is playing Tychus, the red team of course in the lead right now, with Vivicue on Leoric and Zeomek playing Zagara. So, time to see if the blue team can force game number 3. Game 1, let's face it, that entire combo around Varian with Li Ming, with Malfurion Roots, it was just executed perfectly from Team Vivicue. The sniper comp worked out extremely well, and they capitalized on that to no end. They got an early lead and then just snowballed the game a bit. So very, very crisp performance from the red team. Now they're trying to be a bit sneaky with that nice push at the bottom of the map where they can take half a tower down before the game even starts. So not really badly done either. Slowing the opponent's rotation from the mid lane out, never giving them any kind of time here in a 5 versus 5 battle, but getting value on the wave. So that one was already quite nice for them. Lily as the solo healer, by the way. So we've seen her... I mean, on the one hand, I want to say we've seen her a little bit more since the change that buffed her healing power, but it's obviously not quite true. We've seen her basically only in tournaments that have additional draft restrictions, so that made her in some cases more interesting. And even with that, I think we've seen her maybe in total 5 times in competitive play. So not a whole lot. And her win rate is kinda meh. The problem with Lily is just the same as always. It's highly problematic that you can't target specifically a hero that you want to heal. It's always auto healing the one that's low, but that's not necessarily the one that you actually are trying to heal. And yeah, that is the biggest drawback for Lily, and a huge problem, at least in competitive play. It's a little bit different when you're just playing quick match, or if you're just playing, I don't know, in Wood or Plastic League. She obviously comes with a couple of really nice benefits. I mean, she's very easy to play, so if you're generally somebody that struggles to play healer and your team needs one, she can be useful. But yeah, she's definitely not really that well suited for competitive play. It was actually kind of funny. There was... I think I talked about this in the past when the change was made. Maybe when the patch was discussed. And there was one guy in the comments, I still remember, that immediately jumped in and he said something along the lines, I'm paraphrasing here, that's like, people just don't know how to play her. You know, like, good players will always position themselves so that they heal the right target. And I just looked at that and I was like, tell me that you don't know anything about competitive play without not telling me that you don't know anything about competitive play. It's like, good luck with that. I'm really looking forward to see your Lily performance in a tournament environment. But yeah, that is unfortunately not how it works. It would be pretty nice if it would. But that exposes you to all kinds of aggression, and especially in these fights where the error margin is so small, it's kind of impossible. It would be cool though. It would be kind of nice if Blizzard added like an advanced mode that you can turn on for her, where you can all of a sudden target her abilities to, or anything of the sort. It can be quite fun though, and I think a lot of people probably played Lily in the past drunk like a skunk, just putting a weight on the Q button and then just right-clicking and running around all game and still getting value. So yeah, this can definitely be the case. So the first altar phase, of course, up. The easy trade on the top left, top right has already happened. Now at the bottom of the map, we're seeing them fight for the third altar, as you would expect. So far, Well, it's a pretty even fight. I mean, we've seen one kill and that was all, but I think the second one is about to come in here. Seems like Machko is in trouble. Mei slides still around. Mei, and well, it seems that in our little Song of Ice and Fire, fire prevails. Kel'Thas gets the kill on Mei and melts her frozen heart. So, shots fired, couple more are in, and yeah, nice little play for Team Boys. That's the second kill for them, so yeah, decent start. Bit of a kill lead, get the 2 altars out of 3, so job well done. Also really nice stacking from Kel'Thas, by the way. He's sitting currently at 10 stacks on his level 1 quest. Has gone into Burn Flesh, so gets the extra hit over here. Especially if that front line, of course, clusters up. Relentless Soldier, on the other hand, for Tigers. Adapting also a bit on the amount of CC that we're getting from the opponent's team here. Yeah, and Zagara still on a mission to push. We've seen that already at the beginning, of course, as they were going for the tower. And talk about going for things, now they're going for Urel. The Space Goat. The Gravity Lab, she's still dead. Okay, first kill for Team VVQ. So they're finally locking one in as well. They get their first kill here. Down at the bottom of the map, still with the pumpkins being escorted in. The rest of the 5-man, of the 4-man standing around. Murden getting murdered a bit too. But, I mean, this has calmed down slightly. There's nothing to take anymore. Both of the mercenary camps have already been taken. And then on top of that, of course, there was no altar spawn either. Now we have one spawning in the middle, and it's the only one to fight for. The teams are both getting also closer to level 10 abilities. Team Voice, the one slightly ahead. Not a crazy lead. But hey, if it drops during the altar fight, it could still matter. Bit unlikely though. But Muradin, they try to burn him down here. And he is dangerously low. Lots of cooldowns burned on him. Tychus has, by the way, gone Master Assassin, so know the bigger they are. And Muradin jumps back in, gets the interrupt. They're poking with LUNARA. Bambi is on a mission, just dropping acid. Toxic hero confirmed. And they are trying to also drop, for example, Mei at the front line with one poke after another. Living bombs, LUNARA spears connecting over and over again. There's the interrupt on Zagara. She's low. The entire red team is low. I mean, everybody's low there. Mei is going in deep. They're turning on Muradin, and it seems like that's going to be the kill. Muradin is down. Team VVQ again with another kill and also another altar. So on each side now 32 points on the core. Shots fired. Blue team would have loved to delay this just a tiny bit further. If they could have done that, we would have seen them hit level 10 early. Maybe get, yeah, I don't know, a quick kill, connect, and then the altar, but not like this. Snowball, the avalanche is in. We're also getting more, so they can definitely combo a couple of their abilities, considering that they also have an Entomb now, so there's a lot of zone control that they can execute. Long range poke coming for the blue team with LUNARA going into the Thornwood Vine. And of course a potential upgrade on level 20 that she could aim for as well. Muradin. I mean, entombing Muradin doesn't really do anything for you unless you made sure that he just used his jump. In this case, that was definitely not happening. So they try to take the camp. Both are committing. There's the snowball, but lots of damage on the red team. They're mega low here. LUNARA is crushing with her damage output. And they get at least one kill with the Stormbolt connecting on Leoric. I think they can add the second, and indeed they do. That's the front line gone. And they also took the camp. No, actually, sorry, they took the camp, yes. And they're taking the next one as well. LUNARA's at 26,000 damage right now. And with 2 heroes dying on the side of Team VVQ and them now losing the second pumpkin camp, there is a chance for Team Voice to not only get themselves some altar access now, but maybe in addition to that also pushing for that bot lane. First pumpkins are being taken out, but LUNARA is trying to keep them at bay. They still have 4 pumpkins that could connect. Would be a lot of damage. Not getting them close enough though. One at least is in, second, third. Alright, so they get some damage on that bottom bell tower. Double altar now up. There's the trap, and this time Muradin did not have his cooldown. It's Kel'Thas that fell. He's the one that gets crushed, and the blue team, at a minimum, was able to secure themselves one altar so they can still go for an even trade, especially with Tychus already dropping Odin. You don't want to fight into that if you can avoid it, and they do not want to take the risk. So, yep, that is Viviq's team getting another altar, and we have 28 points on each side, so very, very even game. Quite different from what we've seen on the first map of the series. So, they're doing very okay here. There's a couple of sheep around here still. Could tell you a story about sheeps and boots, but I'm gonna let that slide this time. Healing static is in. And we got the Pyromaniac. Plus also, let them wither. Waiting for that 13 to drop for Viviq's team. We have that lead in talents. And Team Voice is always trying to push it. They've been ahead essentially from the beginning of the game. Oh, the Stormbolt! A little bit of damage, but not enough. And Deckard Cain is also around. Always happy to drop another potion on them. With Leo now going in for the Spectral Leech. We have Mei with the Polar Vortex. Next altar phase is gonna spawn 2 at the top left and top right. But there is still that poke at the bot lane. I mean, bot lane control is really the most important thing when we're talking about Towers of Doom. This is where you have most of your pumpkins traveling, so if you control the lane, you can damage the opponent's core very easily through those. And it is mainly Team Viviq who is taking damage on structures. So Team Boys is going to show up down here time and time again, aiming for more damage and to convert that bell tower. At the top left, top right, we should now just get an even exchange. I think that the main fight is still centering around the bot lane. Unless the red team really thinks that they can go for a double altar play here. I highly doubt that. LUNARA is still at the bottom of the map. They get some easy poke in against Mei. Leo gets the channel. LUNARA is now moving top because it really seems that Team Viviq thinks that they can control that that area. Now they have a lot of tools, but I still don't think that they can win an easy fight here. Big damage from LUNARA, by the way. Ult not doing anything from Deckard Cain. He was mainly trying to protect Zagara. LUNARA came in and absolutely melted that hit point bar. So they go in for another kill. Yeah, there's the ice block. Lots of tools already used. Nice, more hitting 2. Don't think there will be a big follow-up. Instead, the heal from Lily. And that's massive numbers coming out. So, I gotta say, these fights are not looking all that great for the red team. They really have a bit of a problem healing out that LUNARA damage, don't they? It's a lot of damage over time, and it's not only the AoE damage that we're getting from Bambi. You got Kelthas, for example, also, with a lot of love that he's spreading here, getting Pyromaniac as his level 13 talent. So, Deckard Cain, he's having a tough time getting those heals in. Damage output, 42,000 for LUNARA. And again, look at that spread. Tychus is in trouble. Immediately, Myrrodin wants to finish the job, comes in, drops him, and now they're going for the next target. Leo is gone, and that's 2 heroes down. Just like that. And they might even get a third. Mei is also low and has to tap the fountain, so they're stealing another camp. And this is, by the way, partly where that experience gain comes from. There's a difference in mercenary experience that is quite significant already. Then we have them essentially doubling the hero XP. And on top of that, even on minion experience, the blue team has taken the lead. So now they're taking structures over. They're taking control of bell towers. And it is a triple altar phase that is coming up. So the next objective is going to spawn 3. If they still maintain that control with a 5-3 split at that point in time, there's a huge chance for Team Voice to pull ahead on the objective. Because right now, it is just dead even. But we have a level 16 talent on top of all of this for the blue team, which gives us the unfair advantage. It's a great talent name, by the way. It's just awesome. And we have to Ignite. With imposing presence on Myrrodin. Now trying again at the bot lane to protect the bell tower. And the altars are activating in 15 seconds. So there's absolutely no way for Team Viviq, even with Zagara, to reclaim this. And they're getting also pumpkins. So nicely timed. The good news for Team Viviq is that they're actually getting their 16 talents. Just in time for that fight. That also is bad news for Myrrodin. Because Zagara now has corrosive saliva. And Myrrodin doesn't like that. Seems like we're going to go again for a 2-1 split. Top right has already been channeled. 5 shots have been fired. Pumpkins still traveling through the bot lane. Keep those in mind and keep an eye on the bot lane on the minimap. And for some reason, VVQ wants to force the fight at the top left again. They have tools. Maw, Entomb, Snowball. In choke points, they can try and capitalize on those. Lily, little panda in big trouble and still alive. Big heals. Zagara is dead as the flank collapsed onto her. And now the red team is again on the run. The pumpkins are about to connect with the core. Seems like Leo is going to fall and he's not going to be the only one. Even with the ult from Deckard Cain, the old man is not going to make it. And is he? No, no way. Endless is trying to get out here. Gets heal after heal, but they're still following up on it. Gravity Lapse. I mean, he is nimble. I mean, that's some old feats here, but he is dodging everything that he can. Eventually, though, he falls. The pumpkins already made it through, and that all doesn't even account for the altar channel that is happening as we speak. Mr. X making sure another 5 shots get fired, and that puts them down to 11 points. So that's a massive advantage now for Team Voice in core points. 10 points ahead. Good for them. Ahead in experience as well. More poke, and Lunara is just getting those connects. I mean, again, it's the damage over time that is wreaking havoc here. So, well done. We got 60,000 damage for Bambi, 44,000 on the side of Tigers. Kalthas, 33,000. Nothing insane. He's 4th place in the damage ranking. There's, by the way, another altar coming up, and it's spawning at the bot lane. If they can maintain bell tower control, that's essentially a freebie for Team Voice. Very difficult to grab that and to get there if you're Team VVQ, if you do not have a bell tower at the bottom of the map. You would have to enter through the top and you don't have a retreat point. And then your opponent is also close to level 20. Highly unlikely that Team VVQ is going to try and make a play there. I would be shocked. Unless, of course, they somehow are able to get a kill here or get that bell tower back. That would change things. 37 stacks for Kalthas. It's a decent shield. His level 1 has been looking pretty alright. Altar is now activating. 20 is nearly there. Big poke, big damage. Yep. And look at that. There is absolutely no way the red team is fighting for that altar. And here comes the upgrade. Thornwood Mines. So, now we have a much, much bigger poke area for her. And that is just gonna make matters so much worse for the red team. If this pattern continues, we are gonna see a 3rd map. But of course, red team is throwing everything against them. Fighting into 20 now, into a Storm Talon advantage, desperately trying to get something here. But Lunara just spreads out the love, and her damage is absolutely skyrocketing at this point. The shots have already been fired. That means that the red team is now down to 6 points on the core. Boss is still up. Look at Lunara. I mean, Zagara is just getting murdered, and she's dead already. So that's another kill. 10 kills to 3. They really have to just think about how do we want to play this now. Do we maintain control over the bell tower? If you go for the boss now, your opponent is not going to fight you here, but they're going to retake the bell tower at the bottom right. So if you want to maintain that control, you can't go for it. And that's one of the main reasons why the blue team hasn't moved towards the top of the map already. So what they're doing is just keep the control of the bot lane so that they can get these pumpkin camps. And if the red team has to try and defend there, Lunara is getting free damage time and time again and can hope to finish the job with the help of Kalthas. So they're already here. Lunara again with another poke. Couple of slows coming in. One of the main reasons why we're also having some adjustments on Tychus' build, of course. Not that it did him any good so far. But here come pumpkins through the bot lane, and Lunara is already getting in the next camp. So that's 6 pumpkins in total. The next altar phase is spawning 2, and that's at the bottom of the map. So we got a vertical double spawn, and boy, if they get 1 or 2 pumpkins in, then Team VVQ has to get both of them, and good luck with that. So they're already zoning with Phoenix. Deckard Cain is there, gets instantly attacked, that's the problem. Pumpkins are so far all defended. Nicely done. Pumpkins are defended, but they're paying the price on Tychus. Tychus is gone. This might just be the beginning of the end. Tychus is down for 55 seconds and the altars spawn in 10. They try to get a kill. They need a counter kill. It's not happening. Urel gets snowballed. She should be able to get out and does. And now with the altars active on the map, the blue team is already retreating. This is a disaster. Zagara gone. She's dead. Urel is channeling the first altar for 5 shots. And, well, this is game. This is game. It's down to 1 point, and the channel at the bottom is absolutely inevitable. We go to game number 3. Holy Chicken gets the channel out. They're still fighting and pushing them back. They want Decade Kane 2, and they do. And that brings us straight to the final map of the best of 3 series between Team Voice and Team Vivq. Well done. GG. Coming up next, we have the 3rd map of the series. If you guys enjoy the content, also consider to head over to patreon.com/Khaldor. Support our efforts to keep the Heroes of the Storm esports scene alive there. It's the best way to support the channel. Huge shout out to everybody that is already a supporter. You guys are really helping to keep this alive, and you help us to host event after event for the game here. Especially after Blizzard abandoning this already 7 years ago. It's absolutely fantastic that we're still able to do this here. So big shout out to all of the supporters. And again, if you enjoy the coverage, if you would like to support us, head over there and check it out. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the next game. Final map in the best of 3 series, Team Voice against Team Vivq. And a really nice job by the blue team on the last map. So now it's all down to the final map on Infernal Shrines. We got Voice on Orphea, Mr. X on Alexstrasza this time, Lily with big win and game number 2. Halcon on Arthas, Magdo is playing Sylvanas, and a Holy Chicken on Chen. So the Arthas-Chen combo at the front line. With Machko now on Diva, we got Vivq himself on Sonya, Ziomek on Deathwing, Endless on Ana, and obviously going to try and boost the mage here, which is Jaina, played by Haj Jr. with the Lingering Chill on level 1. So, party time in the Nexus on Infernal Shrine. Ah, and a nice skin for Deathwing at least. Okay, so I like that. That's a dragon, you know. Big black dragon right there. Not that turkey chicken skin that we're always getting. Jade Dragon also, fantastic. Deathwing has some pretty cool skins. But this, more of a vanilla one with the black... What the hell? Okay. That was a quick kill. I wasn't even calling this... He didn't even lauber. He just completely disappeared. I mean, my man was running it down mid-hard. So Jaina gets targeted and apparently didn't have the hands on the keyboard yet. So that's a kill. Job well done. On each side we have some Frost Magic, and Howling Blast Arthas is a little bit too much to handle apparently. So that's the first blood in the game. Great start here for Team Voice. Keep in mind, Vivq's team won the first map, but now they are losing ground. Not only did they lose map number 2, but we get a second kill. So that is a quick end on the side of Sonya. I gotta say, that hurts. That is a little bit problematic, especially with now the top lane being pressured. I don't like this early game whatsoever for Team Vivq. That is way too much value. Top lane losing a tower and half the points on the 4, 2 heroes dead on the red team. And then down at the bottom of the map, even a bit more aggression. Maybe in the mid lane they can recoup some value. This is at least good for them. It's actually adding up. This is adding up nicely. There's a lot of damage on that wall. So that makes up for a lot of what happens topside. So not too bad. That's a pretty big win there in the middle for Team Vivq. Very delayed reaction from the blue team. Now, they are able to defend it, obviously. Duh. But down at the bottom of the map, another camp is about to be taken. So far, the blue team hasn't even taken their own. Alexstrasza is trying to get her stacks together for the reward on level 1. So she's working on that as we speak. Now, in addition to all of that, we're having also more grenades coming in. We got the heat wave for Deathwing, Arcane Intellect for Jaina. And up at the top, Diva still suffering a bit, but so far she's fine. They're actually doubling that wave or that lane the entire time, mainly because Sylvanas on the blue team side keeps trying to push, and they're attempting to prevent that. Withering Flames, spell power production, so we can already guarantee that he is going to be on Jaina a lot throughout that game, and is going to try and take her out. So definitely a couple of jumps coming in on that. Now, down at the bottom of the map, still, the first objective up now. Nobody has made an immediate move for it, but the teams will definitely try to fight for this. It's going to be an Arcane Punisher too. Arthur's has gone into the full quest build so far. Howling Blast on 1, Frozen Tempest on 4. Arthur's is... I really like Arthur's. It's a shame that he is in a normal tournament with like no pre-bans and nothing else. Not really a valid option simply because he doesn't have these gap closers. He doesn't have the mobility that a lot of others bring. But just generally speaking, you know, being that terror that moves into a fight, slows everybody down, and then later even roots them in place with a 16. It's awesome. It's really just from... hey, I'm epic. I'm an epic tank perspective, kind of crazy. But Dragon transformation, it's double Dragon. We're going full Dragon versus Dragon with Alexstrasza going for the transformation and Deathwing now making the move. But Deathwing is also going deep on this. I mean, damn. They have a huge lead now on the objective. And with Deathwing dying, you can at least say that he died for a good cause. So, Deathwing turned into Deadwing, but it gave the Punisher over to the red team. So, he zoned them out fully. Pushed them back and forced them to into submission. So, nicely done. Bait over the wall. And Sonya is now sitting all the way at the top, defending. There was a little bit of value that was had with the camp, so the wall is already destroyed there. And with the bot lane defense not being met with any actual aggression, that Punisher did nothing. That was an oversized minion, if anything. I mean, that Punisher did absolutely nothing. So, more value was had by the Shaman camp at the top than by the Punisher at the top, at the bottom of the map. So, yeah. Now, well, it is what it is. But with 3 kills to 0, Team Boys is still looking pretty okay. Even though they lost the first objective. But Team VVQ should have probably tried to at least keep a couple of their heroes around and do some damage. I mean, at least take the wall out. Didn't even destroy a single tower here. Alexstrasza is about to be done with their quest, by the way. So that's going to give them more heals. Oh, but there's the first kill for Team VVQ. They take Ophia down. So Ophia now eliminated. Ah, nice. We also, on level 7, have now Life Funnel. So a little bit more spin to win value to try and get the sustain going on the shrine. So yeah, that's the next one. We got all the way at the top. Sylvanas jumping out. And Jaina was hoping to get the kill as she jumps on the wave, but just missed out on it. Alexstrasza is done. Some more globes are now coming together for them. Precious ingredients over here. It's going to help Chen to get his quest completed. Always assuming, of course, that he's going to be nearby because he will spend a lot of the time still at the top lane. We got Bunny Hop, we got Leap, and then Deathwing with the Bellowing Roar here as the first team gets heroic abilities. And on the other side, the Kick. We get the Jaws, this time neglected in favor of Eternal Feast. And then also Lifebinder for Alexstrasza with Syndragosa, another dragon. Captain Hitsugaya would be proud. Nobody gets that reference, by the way, which is kind of a shame, honestly. We need more people that get some of those. I made that for ages, and I think so far not a single person has actually realized what this is about. But anyways, so by now, seems like Arthas might have some trouble. Gets a Lifebinder treatment from Alexstrasza. Lady Thick Thighs over here wants to keep the prince alive. And rocking, so good for her. Topside fort has now been destroyed. This is always the problem when Sylvanas is against you. With all that split pushing that we've seen so far from Team Boys. They're just getting value here. So they're kind of outplaying the red team a little bit. In experience, the blue team has now fallen behind. But they are outplaying them on a macro level. And this is working. And it's working extremely well. So that gives you more control over the top. But it is still a question of what happens around objectives now with the next shrine spawning. And eventually the blue team will have to also start to win there if they want to close the series out. Leap! And yep, that's going to be a kill. Even with the heals from Alexstrasza, they are able to take Sylvanas down. And it's the perfect timing, of course, for the red team. So they will have the lead on the shrine. And that's quite annoying for Team Boys, because taking that fort out of the top lane gave them a mad advantage. But this is trouble. 15,000 damage for Deathwing. 20,000 for Sylvanas, and this is a Frozen Punisher this time. And I hope that once they get it, because I do not believe that Team VVQ is going to fight into this, once they get it, they also push with it. They really should. I mean, they need something here. So, as it stands, we have down at the bottom of the map, a bit of an aggressive play against Deathwing, who's still totally fine. And very much so not impressed. Chen is already in the middle. Sylvanas is trying to get them a camp. But this is, they leave it at 39 even. Trying to apparently get some control over the Shaman camp at the top. And that push is gonna be important, because the wall is already gone. You want the fort. And if they get Syndragosa, they will definitely get it. Now, the blue team is trying to force their hand. They're going to start taking a few Shrine minions to signal to Team Vivq, if you are not making a play soon, then we're still gonna try and make a move for this. I've never seen a team being able to pull this off after 39 was reached, though. But again, you can still apply some pressure and force them to take the Punisher, which we now have. Both teams on 13. So that's kind of what they wanted. For Deathwing, that means fire and fury. And here comes the jump. So it's party time. Fort, yes, no. They should be able to grab it. They should be able to get it. It would be shocking if they didn't, especially with Chen not even being here. Chen has already moved towards the top lane to defend. Leap! And Orphea's down. Arthas is dead too. Nano boosted Jaina. They get a double kill. And look at that Punisher. That's 82% still on the HP. And with 2 defenders gone, damn, this is gonna be rough. They might lose a keep here. They could very well lose that keep. As a mercenary camp coming in, they have the Frozen Punisher. 100% a keep. What a push from Team Vivq. That one was massive. I mean, damn. 10-minute keep. Perfect second objective from their point of view. Getting that leap connected. Syndragosa and everything at the ready. So, yeah, on the other side and not really getting value for them. There was no chance for Arthur to keep himself alive. I don't even think that with Army he would have been able to do it, but hey. So, right now, that was a massive, massive move by Team Vivq. The entire mid lane just destroyed. One objective, all that they needed. Now we got 20,000 damage for D.Va. She's top damage actually on the red team side now. But this is a nice third map. We're not in the best of 5 realm yet. The only one on the red team side that hasn't died yet is Ana. Well, that's the change, of course. Not too many gap closers here, but if Chen makes a move, then hey, maybe. So they delivered a bit of damage down at the bottom. Ooh, that Syndragosa did essentially go nowhere. D.Va will be fine. She's getting out. We get the camp. Yeah, there's the explosion. Even Dragon Queen, damn, but instead they're losing heroes. Quest completed for Jaina. She still dies, but they took Sylvanas out. Sylvanas is dead. Now the Bunny Hoff into the back line. Alex Straza gets racked, and oh my god. 16 talents dropped into the hands of Team Vivq, and they're taking mad advantage of that. Now they're going for the chicken. It's going to be a 5-man team wipe, isn't it? They go for Chen, and they will eventually, maybe they can kill him or not. Maybe they can. Yes, here it is. Chen goes down, and that's that. But oh my god. 5-man team wipe and the fort destroyed on a fight that was forced by Team Boys. And I'm not 100% certain why they did it. At least not the way they did it. They dropped Syndragosa from the top. It essentially connected with nothing. It wasn't even aimed at the camp that they were clearly trying to take. And now you have a 1.5 level gap between the two teams. The fort at the bot lane has been lost. In the middle they also lost the keep. So that's a bit of a disaster, especially when you think about where the next objective spawns. The next objective spawns in the bot lane. There's only one team that still has a fountain here. So this is gonna be a huge problem. Team Boys, they're gonna fight 16 versus 16, but even that last fight, there was a lead in experience for them. So good luck trying to now make that work. They need to win a team fight to bring this game back. And it won't be easy. The red team has done way better, especially with some of these leap engages into the backline that we've seen. So now they're pushing the top. Shrine is activating. Sonya has to jump out. Alright. They're trying to force something on D.Va here, but Chen is not able to isolate them. I think they would have been... Oh my god, now they're losing Orphea too. Again, Nano boosted Jaina. Mad damage, gets the ice block. They try to go for Mr. X. And Alexstrasza is basically dead. Gets pew-pewed by D.Va. The top fort soon to fall if they stay there. But there's also an objective. And damn, they're going for the core already. Yeah, the death timers are low with 13 minutes in. But they still say, you know what? We got enough. We can drop that core here. If not, then at least they have to try and defend against us. And that will expose them further. And we can net ourselves a few more kills. So Ophia is the first one to come back. But Team Vivq with a speed run in game number 3. I mean, holy hell. They really are crushing it here. Shen is about to die. He's basically gone. Ana might die to the keep. Barely keeps herself alive. But the core is gone. Team Voice takes a fantastic second victory, or first victory in game number 2. But right now, Team Vivq just showed them how it's done and absolutely slaughtered them. So, job well done. 13 kills to 7, and Team Vivq takes the victory in the best of 3 series. Fantastic for positioning in the round robin. Well done, well played, congratulations.